All right, hello. Welcome to STEMpathize. Today, I am your workshop facilitator, Isabel Garcia, and I am bringing you an online recorded workshop for you to be able to do at home. So today, we are going to be doing a project called Cell Shields and just learning about cells in general. So just a little bit about our organization. We are high school volunteers from STEMpathize, and we host hands-on workshops just like you all to be interested for students like you to be interested into STEM. And if you are interested, check out our website right here, and our Instagram and our YouTube. You could go ahead and pause the video if you want to record the links if you'd like. Specifically for our YouTube, but make sure you subscribe to our channel because you'll be notified of more at-home activities that you can participate in at home. And this means like if you ever miss a workshop, then you can watch a recorded workshop just like you're doing right now, and it'll be published to our YouTube channel. All right, so today we're going to be starting off with our first definition, which is membrane. So a membrane is a thin layer that surrounds every cell in your body, and it protects and manages what goes in and out of the cell. So you can think of the membrane as like a guard, and a guard for a castle. And this guard is, opening the gate and letting in things that it seems, is right for it to go into the castle, or closing the gate to not let in anything that, he would not like in his castle, obviously. So in a real world application, we have a similar example here actually. So when going to battle, a knight does not run naked. And I'm sure, obviously he does not. He wears armor, and all of the cells that make up your body have an armor too, which is the membrane like I talked about earlier. So these membranes protect your cell from dangerous bacteria and viruses. And they also help keep cells healthy, which is extremely important to all life on Earth that have cells, like us. So today our lab is super fun, and we are going to be doing a bubble membrane lab. I'm going to be moving my screen right over here. We are going to be doing a bubble membrane lab. Super fun. But beforehand, let's start off with a little definition, kind of like a review, but just a more in-depth explanation of what the cell membrane is really made of. Because what really lets in these things in and out of the cell? Well, it is a layer of fats that surround the cell, which protects it as well as providing nutrients. And not fat as in like my skin on my arms and things like that. You can think the fat as more of like a gooey, slimy liquid, and it just lets in things that it likes, or maybe if something tries to go in, it would spit it out if it obviously wasn't welcome. So we have a lot of materials today, and I'll be showing you the different materials I have, and you could just go ahead and grab them. Feel free to pause the video whenever if you need to go grab any materials. So you'll be needing a large tray, which shouldn't be necessarily shallow. Mine looks like the one on the screen, and I can point my camera down. So this is the tray that I have. It is a Pyrex. It doesn't need to be Pyrex, obviously, just a big enough tray and a good amount of working space. You need 5 to 8 tablespoons of dish soap, and I have this big dish soap bucket right here that I use to wash all my dishes after school. And then you need 4 cups of water. I already have 2 cups in here because I have another 2 cup in here. Otherwise, I would need to leave the Zoom, or I would need to leave the video, and then I have to go back and forth. So I already have 2 cups of water in here, and then I have another 2 cups sitting out, which is my 4 cups of water. You need 1 tablespoon of glycerol or corn syrup. I have my tablespoon measurement right here, and I have corn syrup. But like it says in the screen, you could use any kind, but you could alternate between glycerol and corn syrup. And you need 6 straws and 1 paper clip. All right. Our first step is we're going to be pouring our bubble solution into the tray. Our bubble solution is going to be we're going to make our bubble solution right now. Sorry for I'll clarify right now. So our bubble solution is going to consist of water, soap, and our corn syrup. So first I'm going to pour my water in. Feel free to pause the video. Pour the rest of my water in. Like that. And now I'll be doing my corn syrup. So it's about 1 tablespoon of it. Let me open this up. And I could also leave, if you need to pause and just like remember what else you need, I'll just leave that up, pause the video, and then we'll go back. So this is 1 tablespoon of corn syrup or glycerol. Here's 1 tablespoon. And I'll be pouring just right in there. Sure to get all of it out. It's kind of sticky. A good note is to make sure you have a towel near you, because this is kind of a messy project and you don't want to get your room, your desk especially sticky. I know my desk is getting a little sticky, but I have a towel right here to clean anything up. And now 5 to 8 tablespoons of dish soap. I'll be doing 7. A lot of bubbles coming out of my dish soap. 1, 2, 3. And if you we are going to be needing a mixing device. I'm just going to use our straws that it did say in the material list. But if you, since you are at home, you can always pause the video with a spoon if you can. If not, a straw works totally fine because that's what I'm going to be using as well. This is my 5th one. Okay, 2 more. It's a little bit tricky. I have a lot of bubbles coming out. Wow. I have 1 more. Let's bring it on home. Oh, still a little. Turn this over. And 7. All right, so this is our bubble solution. Now we're going to be mixing it up. So I'll be taking one of my straws. Just a straw. I have a bunch of straws here. And you're going to be mixing it up. If you want to use a spoon, even better. Just make sure everything gets all mixed in. It should be relatively mixed in. Just the corn syrup tends to stick on the bottom. So try to move your spoon or you move your straw, whatever device you're using, to manipulate it and to just get it submerged with all the water. So now I have my solution. It's pretty well mixed in. So this is our bubble solution, and good thing it's already in the tray and we do not have to pour it in. Step 2. This is a pretty hard step, so if you need help from a parent, pause the video, go ahead and do that now. We're going to be arranging 4 straws like you see on the screen into a square, and then we're going to be connecting the tips to one another. So I'm going to take out 4 straws from this package, and I'll also show myself right now arranging them just for extra guidance. Here's me again, and you take your bendy part and your long part, and you're going to connect them together. Do not connect the bendy part with the bendy part. You're going to be connecting the bendy part and the long part. So it's easier for me to like pinch the straws and just squeeze it in like that. Obviously not going to be a perfect square. So I have these 2 connected, and now I have this bendy part. I'm going to take the long part of another straw, squeeze it in. Let's see if I can squeeze it in. There we go. Just like this. We have 1 more straw. Take my long part, squeeze it into the bendy part. Try to show it more. Can it squeeze in? Let's try again. Yes, it can. All right, so we got that in. And now we have the final connecting pieces. Take this long part, bendy part. I think you know the drill. It is pretty tough. I did have to practice this. Took a lot of practicing, but I finally got it. And here, this should be your square. So our 3rd step is when we get to the fun stuff. I'll be positioning my camera downwards now. We're going to be placing our square into the bubble tray and slowly lift up. So let's be careful. We're not going to pop the bubble before it's fully out. And you're like, what's the bubble? Oh, you'll see the bubble. It's pretty cool. So let's get everything fully submerged and let's slowly lift up. Oh, wait, I did not lift that up slowly. I'll slowly lift it up. Okay, wait. Let me get this fully submerged, and I'll slowly lift it up. till it becomes a bubble. There we go. Sometimes it is gonna have to take a couple tries, but you could kind of see there is a clear bubble. You could kind of see my reflection. Maybe you could see me. No. But you could kind of see, oh, and it just popped. We should be pretty gentle with it. Oh no. Just when you're doing this, make sure you're going super slow. I'm an impatient person. I understand, as you can tell, but slow and steady wins the race. See? So now I have my bubble right here. And just try practicing this a couple times, just noticing what you see. And this is going to be representing our cell membrane. It's super cool. It's kind of hard to show on the video. And it popped. But there's a bunch of rainbow little like flowy lines you can see. It's really, really cool. Our fourth step, okay, we are going to be bending the straws and watching how the bubbles react. So let's get a bubble first. I need to go slower. I never learned my lesson. I got my bubble, and now I'm going to be bending the straws, and let's see what happens to the bubble. So it looks like the bubble is staying intact, as you can see, which is really cool. And it popped. But that was just due to, my environment. But it's really cool to see how the bubbles stay intact to whatever force and like pressure you cause to it. It's really cool. I'll demonstrate it again. A bubble, and I'm bending my straw ever so slightly. You can see how the bubble's still there, which is honestly amazing. And this is just representing the strength and just the flexibility of your membranes responding to any kind of, danger or things like that. So, what does the bubble, this is a discussion question and I'll answer it, but before I answer it, I would like you to pause the video and think about it and answer it yourself. You could write it down on a piece of paper, tell it to a friend, tell it to a parent with you. What does the bubble do when you move the bended straws? And what does this mean your cells do? All right, so I'm going to answer the question now. I hope you pause the video. So I believe that the bubbles, well, when I saw it, I don't believe I saw it. The bubbles stayed intact and it moved along as I moved the straws. So I think that this means that your cells adapt to any kind of, changes in its environment, things like that, in order to, keep your cell intact. Because this, as you know, this is representing the membrane. So the membrane will, adapt to any kind of, danger it might think of, or any kind of pressure that seems to be put on it. It'll adapt and work around it, which is really cool to see how all of these membranes, all these cells that protect all these membranes that protect our cells are, protecting us daily from, colds, coughs, fevers, all of that, sicknesses. It's really cool. All right. If you would like to take a 5-minute break, you go ahead and pause the video now and, stretch, go eat a snack, go take a walk outside and come back. All right. Thank you for coming back. So this is step 5. I hope you still have all your stuff here. Maybe if you went to go take a walk, you grabbed a towel. Maybe you grabbed a parent just to see how cool this is. So our 5th step, we're going to be holding the straws horizontally without bursting the bubble. And we're going to be moving it up and down to see how the bubble reacts. So this is going to represent how your cell reacts to pressure. So I'm going to get a bubble right now. Try to be as careful as I can. There we go. And now we're going to be moving it horizontally. So up and down. I need to get a better bubble because it popped right when it came out. All right. And you're going to be moving it up and down just to see how the cell reacts. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's so cool. It's going up and down. You can see the bubble kind of moving up and down, up and down. It's kind of like, I like to think of it when you jump on a trampoline. And when you jump on the trampoline, like you sink down, down, down. But then you also go up, you shoot up because you're on a trampoline. That's what the membrane reminds me of. which is really cool. So just think about this is how your cell is reacting to pressure. So any kind of pressure, let's just say, pressure from above, it'll go down, and pressure from the bottom will go up. But the bubble is still intact, which is representing, how strong this membrane really is, which is really cool. All right, our sixth step. Now we're gonna be sticking our finger into the bubble, and we're gonna be seeing if it pops. So I'm gonna be getting a nice bubble. All right, I'll try to hold up and let me stick my finger through. Let's see if it'll pop. And it popped. So it did pop, which is kind of weird, but just hold on to that thought and let's see the next idea, the next step of our experiment. Because now we're going to be sticking our finger into the solution and sticking our finger through the bubble. So first I'm going to get my hand submerged. Like I said, I hope you grabbed a towel during your break because it's about to get a little messy. I'm going to get my hand submerged just so no dry skin will be going through my bubble. There's a lot of bubbles inside the bubble. All right, so here is my bubble, and I'm going to stick my finger through. And it's so cool. It's staying intact. The bubble is not popping. I might be able to stick my whole hand, and you could try this too. Ready? Oh, my bubble popped. Let me just try that one more time. 3, 2, I'm going to get some extra. Oh, I didn't have my hands in it. You could try to stick your whole hand through. It's a little bit hard to hold both of these at the same time, which is why my bubble keeps popping. That's why it's important to have a parent always with you. All right, let's see if this is gonna work. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! And it's staying intact. You can see the bubble is still there, but my hand is through. And the bubble didn't pop when I left. That's really cool. So that's the difference. So our finger popped the bubble when it was dry, but when our hand was in all the solution, it went right on through. So we saw how the bubble popped when our finger was not covered in the bubble solution and how it remained intact when your finger was dipped into the solution. So I would like you guys to take a moment, pause the video, and just think about what does this mean about the cell and dangerous bacteria? And what does good bacteria or nutrient? And what about good bacteria or nutrients? I'll position my camera up. Make sure you have a towel. It got a little messy. And what does the straw represent in our final activity? So just take a moment, pause the video, and we'll continue. All right, so after you thought about your idea, let me share mine. So when I think about how my dry finger went into the bubble and then it popped versus when my finger was dipped in the solution and it didn't pop, I think that the cell membrane regulates, what considers good bacteria versus bad bacteria. And personally, I think that the cell membrane thinks good bacteria is things similar to it. Because you saw how when you would put something similar through the bubble, it wouldn't pop, which is just like the solution. Like when you had solution versus solution, it didn't pop. But let's just say you had dry versus solution, it popped. So I think that the cell membrane just regulates the flow of, what it considers dangerous and what it considers, okay to pass through. And what about good bacteria or nutrients? Well, I think that the good bacteria represents the bubble solution, and nutrients and good bacteria is made up of similar composition to the solution as the membrane allows it, or not the solution, the membrane, as it allows your hand and the straw when it was dipped in the membrane to go right on through. And I hope you enjoyed our workshop. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for clicking on our video. And I hope you had fun learning about cell membranes. My name is Izzy, and it was a delight to be able to teach you, all about cell membranes, good bacteria, bad bacteria, things like that. And I hope I'll see you next time. If you want to stay updated with our organization, here's a link to our website. You can go ahead and pause the video, our Instagram, and our YouTube. You can pause the video, go find the links, go subscribe, go check it out, and we would really appreciate it. And you can come stop by and learn more about STEM and join an online workshop too on the weekends. Thank you so much for coming. Bye.